Hello, YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, I wanted to come out to the shop and I wanted to talk a little bit about my Protech Mordax. I got this, a week and a half ago or so, and I've been carrying it a few times here and there. But first, I kind of want to apologize. I done a giveaway a few days ago. Well, I announced it a week ago, and just done the drawing the other day. And when I done the drawing, it wasn't live. And I get that asks you to put a lot of trust in me. I get that, and you don't know me, and um, but at the time, I had so little subscribers that I couldn't go live anyway, if I'm understanding the rules right. Um, C. Lemansky won it, and I don't know him. I don't know anybody that commented on my videos. Um, Now, no more giveaways will be done like that. I'll do them live from now on. But I just wanted to apologize if I made anybody else feel uncomfortable. It really didn't dawn on me. I'm an honest person. I would never do that. It's kind of a scumbag thing to do, and it was brought to my attention in the comments saying that I would just um, scroll through and or keep hitting the button, spinning the wheel until my BFF won some cool knives. First of all, if I called my best friend my BFF, I'd probably get hit in the mouth. And yeah, anyway, I just don't operate like that. But I don't expect you to believe me either. You don't know me. That's fine. And but I just wanted to say something about it real quick and just let you know that there will be more giveaways. I love to give stuff away. It warms the heart. But they won't be done like that. I had to do it that way, basically. But I'm just sorry for any ill feelings or anything. So, okay, on to the Mordax. Uh, Great knife. When I got it, this is my first Protech. I wanted to say that. Um, I said earlier, I think in the unboxing, that it's my first Protech because I'm not a huge fan of automatic knives. They're okay, and I have a few, and I really like them. The ones I have, I like the manual feeling of a knife. Uh, in Protech, anybody that knows Protech knows their bread and butter is their automatics. They're great at it. Uh, but recently, they've had the Mordax here in the Malibu, and they've had a few others here and there. Um, and yeah, so I decided I'd try one. It's great. Right out of the box, the action on it's phenomenal. Get that out of the way. Um, yeah, I have zero complaints. If you're not familiar with the Mordax, it's got about a 3.5 inch blade, aluminum anodized handle. It's a button lock or plunge lock. I'm starting to think, is there a difference between a button lock and a plunge lock? Because they're starting to come out with a lot that where their button liner locks with a button, different things. I don't think they've quite found a name for that yet, but I'm just wondering if that will. To me, as of right now, a plunge lock and a button lock are the same thing. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm just now that they're starting to come out with a lot of them button actuated liner locks. I'm wondering if that will change the terminology. Anyway, great knife. The size is good. It's I'd say medium. It's a smaller, medium sized knife. S45 VN on the blade steel. Good stuff. You've heard me talk that, I don't love S35 VN, but S45 VN is not just, 10 more VNs. There's a little bit more to it than that. And it's, in my opinion, a lot better. Um, so yeah, the blade thickness is 125 thousandths, so it's not too thick, not too thin. My best guess behind the edge thickness is probably going to be about, I'd say right around 21 thou behind the edge. Um, yeah, that's a guess, but I've worked machinery and measuring tools my whole life, so when you do that, you kind of get a sense for things. Um, how's it stack up to something like? I don't have many button locks either because honestly, it's another genre I don't love. they're okay. I'm a frame lock flipper, hole actuated type guy. But this one here, this is a CJRB. This has got a steel frame, button lock as well. So blade steel. It's their ARPM9. But yeah, this button lock, everything works good on it. It's great, but it's got button stick. Every time you push that button, I've worked on it a little bit trying to get it out of there. Yeah, it won't. You can probably hear it. But I mean, it's a good knife. This wasn't all that much, maybe $70. Big old knife. And it's fine other than that. It works pretty good. Button's a little sticky. This is a Civivi. Am I right? I think that's the name of it. Am I right? Am I right? This is a good knife too. Something I don't like about it. I really like the blade shape. Everything's cool on this knife except the button. You have to really mash it down to get the blade to go in. That's something that the Mordax, again, it just does everything really well. This one, the button's sticky. This one, you have to push your finger through the other side to get the blade to drop. Other than that, everything's good, but yeah, just you have to really mash on it. And then this guy. This is a Wii. I forget the name of this. I sure do. Anyway, it's made by Wii. And yeah, it's the closest one to the Mordax. The button's done very nice. I'd have to say I don't know. Mordax is definitely a little bit smoother, a little quicker, a little snappier. Yeah, but the Wii is, right there too. Yeah, it's just a little bit, I don't know if spongier is the right word, a little bit slower maybe than the Mordax. The Mordax it's doing everything well. It really is. Everything's done good on it. I mentioned my son's got some friends that are getting into knives, and I mentioned to one of them, he asked me if I had any of those switchblade type knives. I kind of explained to him about it. Difference between a switchblade and an automatic, things like that. And, because when he hears the price tag on some of these knives, like the Mordax, he doesn't understand it for good reason. Well, I shouldn't say he don't understand it. He just doesn't know everything that's behind it, and that's normal. We were all there at one time. So I have it out the front. You guys have probably seen it before. It's my Microtech Ultratech, and I thought, well, I'll see if he likes that and shoot him a price. I was going to tell him $200, which the knives new are like $350, right around $350, kind of depending on serrations and different things with the blade. They may go up $1 or $2, up, down, but around $350. So I thought I'd cut him a deal at $200. When I told him that, his eyes fell out of his head and hit the floor and rolled across the room. But I told him, and anybody out there that's new to knives or anything, when you buy something from the gas station or something, no name, cheap stuff, you have no warranty behind it. When you include it in your price for buying this is excellent customer service and a warranty. This knife, even alone, if you took care of it, this would last you a lifetime. It makes you wonder why some people have so many knives, but it really would. And then if it didn't, for some reason, they would give you another one, or they would fix it. That's part of the price. This is made in America, and boy, it just really shines. This is one of the American-made knives here that it's very well made, and the price is very good too. I think they're about $240. This here's a Blade HQ exclusive though. It's in the S45VN. I don't know. I don't know if these are still around or not. You may be able to get this version. I know they do the blue and different blade steels and things like that. But with the S45VN in the blue, I don't know if that's what makes it exclusive to Blade HQ, or I'm really not sure, honestly. It is right hand tip up carry only. So if that matters to you, you know, my wife's left-handed and she uses her knife right-handed, so I don't know if most left people do that. I'm not real sure, but so it never really bothers her. I'm the same way. I shoot pew pews left-handed, and I'm right-handed, so I shoot pool the same way. Different things like that. But anyway, yeah, talking about to people new to knives about price and everything. Uh, the customer service and the warranty that comes along with something like this is just tremendous. And when I got this knife, it was excellent. And before I even could use it, I'm gonna have to try to find something to point with. Hold on a minute. Something kept standing out to me. It didn't look right, and the blade's dirty now. Uh, right through here, there was a wavy line that would come down about like this, and then another one about right here, and it looked like it had been heated. It was blue with that straw tint to it. If you've ever heated steel before, it's kind of what it looks like. And I thought, why would it be heated there? If I thought something was to be overheated, I'd think to look for it around the edge here. So I tried wiping it off. It wouldn't go away. And again, you had to stand on your head and hold it up to the sun to be able to see it in the first place. It was barely there, guys. Barely there. But it was something I noticed, and it kept, piquing my interest, I guess. I was like, what is that? Why would that be like that? So I contacted Protech just to see what they would say. And, man, the things they had to say is awesome. I want to try to get the tablet out here and read you some of it. So I told them, I was just, my name's Shane. I purchased a Mordax at Blade HQ, and it was actually my first Protech. Let's see, everything seems perfect. It's beautiful. The handle's beautiful. Stonewash blade, S45VN is awesome. Then I tell them there's something that keeps bothering me about the color, and I was just looking for them to tell me, like, if it's nothing, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. I wasn't really worried about it. I was interested in what it was, or if it was anything at all. I don't know. But by the time I was done, this guy was done talking to me. I felt bad for asking in the first place. He was so cool, so thorough. So he comes back and he says, hello, Shane. I'm definitely happy to help you with your Mordax. So during the heat treat process, the knives are all put through extremely uniform process. There is actually no means for a portion of the blade to become heated in one section. If anything like that did occur, it would throw off the entire batch of steel being treated. It has to be extremely uniform for the heat treat cycle to work. If something like that were to occur, the knife would actually come out looking like a potato chip due to the forces involved. Not only that, but all of the coloring associated with the tempering you are describing is completely removed by both the grinding and finally tumbling of the steel. So it wouldn't be visible on the knife after those processes. It also takes quite a bit of temperature to heat steel to that point as it begins changing colors. There's nothing done to our knives in the shop that would cause this, but even if it were to occur, the final tumbling would actually remove it from the blade. The only process that might heat the blade is sharpening, but this tends to be extremely localized to the edge, like I was showing. It wasn't where I would expect it to be. Thankfully, we've never run into that. He goes on to say that they always use new belts. Their sharpener has been with them for 8 or 9 years, so he knows his stuff. He does a really good job, and the edge is nice on it, very nice. So I believe that. So then he says that covers the reasons of why it couldn't be that. His first thought is it's an oxidation layer. And then he refers to it as MagnaCut. He must have misread or been used to seeing MagnaCut on this blue handle. But I did say S45VN, but that's no fault of his own. We could all do that. Yeah, he says that there's an oxidation layer that could have been on it. He said it's not impervious to oxidation. The key here is the heat treat. At low hardness, the steel remarkably stainless. However, it isn't great at holding an edge at the usual 60-62 HRC. So almost everyone using it is hardening it to a 63 or higher. Our blades are hardened to this degree. Now again, he's talking about MagnaCut here, I believe, because he called it MagnaCut and it's S45N blade. But so man, yeah, he goes on. I mean, I'm not gonna read all this to you guys, but look at this. I mean, dude goes on and just yeah, he explains so much. So then I go on. He tells me to take flits and polish the blade out and see if that helps. I didn't have any with me at the time at the house. I usually have some. I keep it, but I'd been out for months. I hadn't bought any. So it gives me an excuse to go ahead and do that. I do that, and the short story is that's what it was. It was some kind of oxidation layer that he said rarely happens, but can happen from the factory. And guys, I want to point out again, you'd have never seen this. I couldn't even take pictures to show him. It was there, and it was something I could make show, but you would have never seen it. If I tried to show you when it was there, it's not there now. The blade's just dirty, but you wouldn't have been able to see it either. And that's why I felt bad. The amount of care and concern he put into this minor issue was just, it was awesome, man. Yeah, his name's Derek over at Protech. If you ever get a chance or you ever need anything from him, hit him up, man. He's fantastic. So let me see if I can figure some other things he said in here. Yeah, he emailed me back checking on whether, I was able to get to it and fix it. Okay. Okay, when I emailed him and told him that it did work, he said, perfect. That discoloration is definitely just a light oxide layer that somehow formed on the very surface of the knife. Definitely not common straight from the factory, as we do coat them with oil to prevent that from occurring, but certainly can happen. All those other cleaners are great. He's talking about the cleaners because I tried using alcohol and just oil, seeing if it'd come off. It didn't. They're great solvents for tape and oils, but the Flitz is actually designed to react with the oxide layer and remove it. The very fine polishing particles aid in the scrubbing it off, making very short work of any sort of oxide layer. Normally that layer forms fairly evenly across the surface of your exposed steel knives. A very quick polish with Flitz does wonders. Let's see. He said he used to work in a knife shop and sold tons of Flitz by giving blades just a quick 10-second buff, and it really makes a difference. It's awesome stuff. Just be sure to only use it on bare steel, as the abrasives can damage coatings like DLC fairly quickly. Something I didn't know is he goes on to say that you can use it on, being very careful. Again, be very careful, but you can use it on your anodized handles here. Like if you get, like I know you guys have noticed it on DLC before, things that look like scratches but aren't. They're the actual transfer of material onto your blade. That's what he's talking about here. It ain't gonna buff out a scratch necessarily, but the transfer of something like paint or from a pocket button or a rivet, that would do it. But you can use it on the handle. Be careful, he says. 10 seconds or so usually does it. What else? Yeah, coins, different things, snail trails on the aluminum. Quick buff with Flitz can take it right off, as long as it's not too heavy of a transfer. And be careful not to over polish so you don't damage your finish. Oh, and I asked him about manual knives and if they'd be making more of them, because I'm a manual type guy. And he told me about some that I didn't know about. I knew about the Cambria, and they're still making that. I didn't even know they were still making that. But he told me about that one, and he went on to say, okay, let me just read you this part. It's interesting. He's like, hope that's an additional tip that'll prove useful in the future. Believe it or not, we did make a few manual knives. We had the original ATAC or ATAC manual, the full titanium TR3 integrity frame lock, the manual TR4, and the Cambria, which is the flipper you're thinking of in parentheses. All of them sold really poorly, which is honestly a shame. It is. Like, I can't believe that. Yeah, man, it's a good manual, but this is kind of before things took off for him. Okay, let's see. As the Integrity and Cambria were extremely nice knives. Of course, now both are collector's models and highly sought after. I personally love the Cambria the most and really hope we bring it back. It was a fantastic design. Oh, I thought they still made. I still seen pictures of it on their website. You must not be able to buy it. That's right. You can't buy anything off their website. They're just showing you the models. Sorry about that. Anyway, bring it back. It was a fantastic. Despite winning awards for it, our manual knives really never took off. We just weren't well known enough at the time, and the people just didn't buy them compared to our autos. Thankfully, we did the Mordax with Mass Drop and had just started here at the he said he had just started here at the time, but helped his engineers make sure that the detent really popped, which was a detail missing on our other models. I think the detent system is really what sets us up for success. As it's so smooth and also unique, we actually didn't even get enough orders originally for the Mordax, and it almost didn't get made. That's crazy to me, guys. Can you imagine? I mean, you might not know, but if you know, you know. Can you imagine the Mordax or like the Malibu not getting made? These knives are way too good for that. Okay. Get enough orders for the Mordax almost didn't get made. Massdrop bought the rest of the order with their own cash and then began offering them. They slowly picked up steam, and now we can't even keep them in stock for more than a day or two. And that's true, guys. Now with the economy the way it is a little bit, just things are tight for people. People aren't buying buying knives and stuff like they did a few months ago. That's all politics. We're not going to do too much politics on this channel, but anyway, hopefully that changes soon. Where was I? Yeah, you can't. I mean, if you do see them in stock, you better grab one if you want one, because it won't be there too long. He said just a bit of fun history on that. They're releasing a new manual model. It's a revamp of the original TR3 Integrity. He said it's actually landing at dealers now. So that's awesome, man. Not only just for him to tell me that, but, I don't know. This dude was just really cool, guys. I couldn't believe the concern over something that, like I said, I started to feel bad because he was taking it so serious and putting so much effort into getting back with me. And I was like, dude, it's a little bit, if you say it's fine, it's fine. But anyway, they have the new manual coming out, the TR3 Integrity. It's actually landing at dealers now. It's still called the TR3 Integrity, and I guess, like he said, it's a revamp of it. And he says they're fantastic. They use the same detent system as our flippers, but it has a thumb stud opening, so it's a whole new way of enjoying operating the button lock system. Landing at dealers as we speak. He told me just to Google Protech Integrity. But yeah, man, his name's Derek Lawrence at Protech, guys, and I just had to shout him out. I'm telling you, the concern and just, dude, he went on in there to tell me that if I wasn't happy at the end of this, if I tried everything he told me to try, and I still wasn't happy, that to send it in, they were going to put a Magna Cut blade in this thing. I mean, he said he'd have to look and see if they had any S45VM blades, but if they didn't, they'd throw Magna Cut in it. Man, there was no sense in it. I mean, I appreciate the heck out of him doing that and just going on and on. I'd have been here another 15 minutes reading to you guys all the replies I had over that, over just slight discoloration. Um, but yeah, guys, that's my point, I guess, is when you buy something like this, you're not only buying an American made quality knife that's awesome. I mean, I can't complain about this knife in any way. Um, personally, I would have it a little bigger, but that's not a complaint, man. That's just personal preference. The knife is fantastic, and I will definitely be buying more. I'm not affiliated with anybody. You guys know that my subscribers are, what do I have? Maybe 50? So ain't nobody sending me nothing or anything like that. Nor would I want them to. I want to be able to talk freely about things, but yeah, it's a Ferrum Forge design knife, and it's fantastic. I can't believe that it almost wasn't made. But again, my point is that when you buy a quality knife like this, they stand behind their products, and that accounts for a lot of that price tag. Because this knife, if you buy this and you want this to be your only knife, you'll have it the rest of your life. Even if it gets broke, they say in their warranty to protect themselves, misuse and everything. But if you've had your knife for 15 years and it breaks, they're going to take care of you. I'd almost guarantee it. If you had it 2 weeks and you're batoning with it or something and it breaks, maybe not. But still, man, I just appreciate Derek so much for looking out for me, and it's fine. The stuff come off with polish. So there you have it, guys. Anyway, this video is way too long by now, but thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.